here at the Pump Up Room in Columbus, Ohio at Metro Fitness, and we're here with Ifbb Pro Brady King and his athlete Daniel Kilgore. Can you tell us what we're going to do today?
We're going to train some back. We have a lot of drop sets today. We're going to teach a little bit of form and try to teach everyone how to hit their low lats a little bit. Daniel is 10 weeks out from the NPC Pittsburgh show.
Sir.
First time competing for him in a couple of years, and last time he competed, I think he did like men's physique, and if he didn't, he looked like he was a men's physique. So,
rotten bastard.
But yeah, so now we got some size on him. He's looking pretty good. I'm excited with where he's at 10 weeks out. He's a lot of thickness. His weight's pretty low, and he's getting pretty dry and hard already. So it'll be good for him. For me, I am like 10 weeks deep into a really good off season, pushing around 260. And I was in classic physique. I am now moving into open, unless some absolute insane way I make weight in classic, which I just don't think will ever happen again. So moving into open and time to have a good year.
All right, Daniel, so you just started your prep. You are 10 weeks out. How do you feel?
I feel great. Brady's my coach. We've been prepping we started 24 weeks out. I actually tore my quad one day in the prep, my inner sweep here. We kept going with it, took a couple weeks off, got my diet clean, recovered pretty quick. So we're still grinding 10 weeks out. My legs are filling back out. We actually just bumped my food up the last couple of weeks. Feeling really lean. Got a lot of energy still, so.
We got his metabolism ripping too.
Yeah, it's
the quad tear was actually kind of like a blessing in disguise because I pulled all of his food down, told him to sit on the couch for a couple of weeks. I didn't let him train for like 2 straight weeks, and I think his body just really needed that recovery. And a little bit lower food, we raised the water up and let him just rest, and his metabolism just like started flying.
It's the first time I've took 2 weeks off from the gym in years. Like I've never just took 2 weeks off to just lay on the couch. And that's what I did for 2 weeks. I didn't get off the couch.
Worked out well though, because now he's ripping through food. So
now we're about to go to Pittsburgh and take it, bro.
So Brady, can you tell us why you're doing that sitting down?
So you can lean forward. So you'll see, you lean forward, you open this up, you get a much bigger stretch in that lat. Then when you come down and squeeze, you get a better lower lat contraction. You can a little bit more than that, in fact. Go. Right here, the more you lean forward, better stretch on a pullover you can get, but also the better contraction down here. So we'll do the same thing as well. We'll go over on like a long bar, T-bar, cable row. Same thing, we'll lean down real far forward as far as we can. Where it's comfortable on the lower back, of course. It's gonna help squeeze that lower line a lot. Come on, let's go. Yep. Easy. Yes, sir. Come on. Perfect. 240. Good. Good. Yep. More. Yep. More. Yep. Good. Good. Yep. 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 Good. Good. 9 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Yes, sir. There you go. One more. Okay. Yeah. Come on. Yes, sir. There you go. Hold it. There you go. Feels good? What's that?
Feels good?
Bro, I'm too fat for all these drop sets. So use your butt to tug. Good. Good. Six, good stretch. 7, good. 8, one more. Got it. What are we at, 170?
Yeah, we're
120. Stretch. Yep, come on. Yep. Good. Good 90. Come on. 9 more. 9 more. Stretch. Good. 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 Come on. Yep. Last one. Yep. Good job. That hurts, bud. That hurts so bad.
See what?
There's nothing worse in the world than a lower back pump. Oh, it hurts so bad. Shit hurts me. What? You talking shit, Melissa? Let's look over. This is just talking shit.
All right, Brady, so tell us a little bit how you got started with bodybuilding.
Well, you know, basically when I was really young, my best friend died, and you know, I was 15, didn't understand the world. I became really suicidal. My dad asked me to go down to this old school gym down the street. It was, I think there was like maybe 10 members, and it was like grungy, cobwebs all over the place. You know, dust on every dumbbell, and it was a dirty place. You know, you walked in, plugged your phone in to the speakers, and there was one little speaker system. Nobody was ever in there, so I'd go in super late and just throw stuff around and take out a lot of emotion. And it became an addiction pretty fast. In that gym, they had all the pictures of the Jay Cutlers, the Ronnie Colemans, you know, all these guys and all these magazines. So naturally, being just around it, I started really picking up on some of the little things here and there, and kind of forming what I wanted to look like. And you know, by the time I was 18, 19, that's whenever I had a pretty good physique on me, and people were like, "Hey man, you should really compete. You should really get into getting on stage." So 19 was the first time I got on stage. Did pretty well. I got second in my first show. And it wasn't the NPC yet. I did a NABA show the first time. The next year when I was 20, or no, it was that same year, I did an NPC show. and I got second there as well in the open class. Was liking my odds. So the next year I went and did a really big show at Pittsburgh. I won my class and lost the overall. That was kind of where I realized, hey, I could actually probably turn pro here. I'm young and I'm almost winning overalls at really big shows. So I must be pretty all right at this. So then I took it pretty serious to do a national show. Got in a car accident, broke my legs, had a big setback, had to take a couple years off to grow my legs back. Finally 2020 came around. Me and my coach felt like we were finally in a good place with the leg size. We did North Americans for my first national show, and I won the overall, turned pro there. I did Chicago Pro just a few weeks later. I got first call outs. I was happy with that, being like 12 pounds under my weight cap. And then fast forward a couple months forward from that, still in my rookie year, I won the Norfolk, Virginia show to qualify for the Olympia. And went to the Olympia, got my ass kicked, decided I'm sick of making weight for Classic, and then I'm making my open debut this year at some point. Right now it's undecided whether or not it'll be in the fall or a year after that. It's up in the air, depends on how much I grew. But right now it's looking like we'll probably do Texas in August.
So looking back when you won your pro card, is there a lot of stuff that changed from being an amateur to a pro, or do you still keep the same work ethic and pretty much keep it the same?
Whenever it clicked to me, it was 2019, early in 2019 when it clicked. And my coach always says he knows when it clicks for an athlete. And there's no real description of what it is, but when it clicks, you know when it clicks. And 2019, early in August or September, it clicked for me, and I didn't miss any meals. I didn't cheat. I didn't miss a lift. I didn't miss a rep. I didn't miss a cardio session. I didn't miss a vitamin. There was not one skipped beat. And I did get a little bit lazy towards the back half of that prep because of COVID, man. COVID really killed that year. And so, it was a long prep, so I got a little bit burnt and got a little lazy. But besides that, no, man, from the prep and the off-season heading into turning pro, and now nothing's really different. I still, every day I wake up, and although I pretty much do everything perfectly, I still find little ways that I can be better. Even down to when I drink my water, how much water I'm drinking in between a meal, if I'm drinking any water 10 minutes before a meal or after a meal, what have you. The tiniest little things my coach really tries to critique and make me absolutely perfect so that we can get to the top of the Olympia stage and open.
That's interesting because a lot of people think once you turn pro, everything's supposed to change, and the training and the meals and all that other stuff. But I think pretty much you have to keep the same work ethic and just keep going hard. It's pretty much even the good amateurs, they have to work like professionals to get there to the level, right?
Yeah, and I guess if there is anything I could say, what it is understanding that you have to hold yourself and act like a pro long before you turn pro. Otherwise, you're probably not going to turn pro, and when you do, you're going to be a shit pro anyways. I wanted to be at the Olympia immediately. I didn't just want to turn pro. I wanted to turn pro, qualify, and get to the Olympia. I did just that because I held myself to that standard at all times, and I'm going to always continue to hold myself to that standard.
I think it's always remarkable when somebody goes to the Olympia in his rookie season. So that was already a big accomplishment because you can still say you're top 15 in the world, top 15, top 16, and even though you're placing might not been as well as you wanted it to be, but it's still experience to make it to the Olympia. Some people don't ever make it in their whole career. So tell us a little bit about the experience, what you could learn from that, what you saw there.
What I can learn is never put that much pressure on myself again. I put way too much pressure on myself, and I think it really showed in my physique because my cortisol was high. I was stressed. It was hard. I pushed the envelope a little bit too much with dieting and other stuff, and it just didn't pan out for me, and that's why. I probably could have placed relatively high, even as high as I think. I probably could have even slipped into the top 5 if I came out absolutely perfect. Definitely in that top 10, but I, put way too much pressure on myself, stressed myself out, and screwed myself. That's where I messed up, But the overall experience at the Olympia was pretty amazing. I mean, they treat you. That's the only time as a bodybuilder that I felt like an athlete or like a rock star, or like how you're supposed to feel. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like they roll out the red carpet for you, and that's how it should be. You know, and I feel like they should do that for all pro shows, but unfortunately they don't. But the Olympia, man, it really had a way of making you truly feel special and like you are the top 15 or 20 in the world.
What was it like to see all the other guys backstage, like Bumstead and Breon and Ruffin?
It was actually probably a little bit grounding for me, because going in, these guys are like dragons. They're mythical creatures. You know what I mean? I mean, they're unworldly to me. And then I see them backstage, like C-Bum, man. He had Courtney, his girlfriend, holding his head, talking to him for over an hour backstage before he started pumping up. And he was crying, and he was, you know, you could tell like he was stressed as well. He had put just as much pressure on himself as I was. And it really shows you, man, these guys are just human just like us. And, you know, especially a guy like that to me, because I'm not going to lie, I rely on my girlfriend a lot. She is like my rock. And to see that out of C-Bum, who you would think is just like this like rock of a human, it was pretty cool. It really showed me, hey, you know, they're all human and they're all the same. We all bleed the same blood. You know, there's no reason I can't be at the same place.
Yeah, that's in bodybuilding. I think sometimes when you have stress situations, and you know, in other sports you have them too. But if your body reacts to stress sometimes, and you can change. It might not even bother you, and you might not even feel it, but your body will show you that, right?
Yeah.
It touches the body. So you're still like pretty young with 25 years.
Yeah,
so
25 years old. Yeah.
What is the goal for the future?
Win Olympias, man.
That's the Olympia.
Win Sandows. You know, we're switching to open now. I mean, I'm 25. I got at least 15 years in this. At least. I want to win Olympias. You know.
Yeah, I think that's a goal. You're supposed to be like, you know, trying to win shows and everything. I mean, of course, winning Olympia is a pretty big goal. But if you don't have that on your mind, what do you train for, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So, is there anything in bodybuilding? You already said, like, at the Olympia they roll out the red carpet and it's way bigger. I mean, we are a very small sport, and I think the appreciation for the athletes lacks a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there's also the social media thing coming in, where you got to stay relevant to like make your money and everything. How do you earn your money?
I'm a coach, so I do coaching. I'm not very well paid through my sponsors because my Instagram's not, you know, the greatest. You know, I mean, I have 27,000 or something like that followers, but I mean, dude, we got guys who got a couple million. You know, to really be making money on social media, you got to be in that like 300,000 to 500,000 range. You know, and really just pumping out good content. My Instagram just never took off that way. But what I have done is I've earned a lot of respect as a coach and what I'm able to teach people. So that's been my bread and butter and what's been able to help me build my career to this point.
We touched it on, like, when you train, you touched like a lot about form and knowing what you're doing and how it's supposed to hit the angle. Your coach is pretty big on that, and you also. So tell us something about that.
So yeah, I mean, whenever I broke my legs before that, dude, I just lifted heavy. Everything was heavy, and I just threw weights around. Like, I mean, I was very strong as a kid, so I thought it was the coolest thing ever that I could bench 500 pounds at 22 years old, and that I could deadlift 750 and squat 650. You know what I mean? I was 21 years old doing all this stuff. I thought I was the shit. After I got hurt, none of those numbers were the same. And I understood that the number didn't matter anymore because I can grow without that number even really going up. And my coach, Morgan Rice, he really started beating form and technique into my head to help me grow as much as I can and create, not just grow, but create a pretty physique. And that's, you know, what started getting beaten in my head from a pretty young age. You know, 22 years old-ish was when I started working with him. And, you know, now it carries over into how I teach people. I've seen guys even at 270 pounds that look like shit on stage because they don't train right. They train like idiots. They train too loose. They don't concentrate on the movement, and they don't really concentrate on trying to get a specific kind of contraction or squeeze out of something. And they just throw weights around like, you know, giant freaking gorillas in a zoo, and they don't get anything out of it, you know?
So today is Tuesday.
Yeah.
We got the Arnold Classic around the corner. Can you give us a top 5 open class prediction?
I'm probably a little too sweaty to take this hat off. I'm gonna put that back on. Hopper's like, I gotta get this hat off. And I'm like, no, I gotta keep that thing on.
All good.
Open. I got Brandon. I got Brett. I had Bonac 4, but you showed me that picture today, and I really think I gotta put him 3 now. And then I got Kuklo 4 and Rodriguez 5.
Okay. What do you think about Regan? What are you gonna do?
Regan? I have Regan at a 6. Could arguably move all the way up to 3, but he won't. He's just not that guy yet. But I have him at 6, where people are going to be a little salty that he's at 6. And
it's going to be a really tight show where, like, between 2 and 6 is really, really close.
Tight, yeah.
I think Brent should win the show.
Brent?
No, Brent
Okay,
Brent Curry.
Yeah.
He should win the show, but like 2 to like 5 is pretty damn.
Yeah. Like you said, that 2 to 6 area, I am honestly 2 to 8 before we had a couple of guys drop out. It was like it was gonna come down the eye color, you know. But yeah, no, Reagan looks freaking good though, dude. It's just tough because I don't think he has the density or mass yet. Rodriguez does have that density and mass, so that's why I have Rodriguez there. I just think when they get on stage and it starts coming down to who's got muscle. I think because Rodriguez gets peeled, so it's gonna be tough.
The only thing, like in social media, do you think Brett Wilkin can already push Brent for the title, or is it still too early for that?
It's tough. It's tough, man. I watched Brett last year at the Chicago. I was there, and I love Hunter very much. He's a very good friend of mine. They're both very good friends of mine. But I was at that show. Ask me if I think Brett should have lost that show. I'm not saying the judges didn't make the right decision, but if I was judging, I would have had Brett and won.
I think it was very close this year.
So can Brett beat Brandon? Can he come out and beat Brandon? I think so. He can. He can. Will he? Is it something that's like super possible, or like do I really think it's going to happen? I don't think so. But can it happen? Would I be surprised if it does? No. Brett's a dog, man. And what people don't realize about Brett too is, when you stand next to him, he's not this giant presence. Like when you stand next to Ramy, you're standing next to Ramy. You know what I mean? The dude takes up half the room. Brett doesn't have that big presence feeling to him, but when he starts posing, he's like a puffer fish. The dude just starts puffing up, and he's got beautiful lines, beautiful shape.
Definitely.
He's super thick. He's got that Phil Heath style physique. He takes up, there's no gaps in his physique. Whereas Brandon, I think there's a couple of gaps here and there. And I don't know. I mean, so I feel like that's what would give Brett a little bit of an advantage, is maybe the less gaps. But Brandon has fucking gorgeous muscle bellies.
I think it's going to be really interesting. I like to see like the newer generation mixed up with like the older guys. Like go with like Curry, Bonac, and these guys going up against like the guys like Nick Walker, Brett Wilkin, Hunter. I think I thought bodybuilding wasn't a bad place with the younger guys for a while, but now I see like really good guys coming up.
Yeah.
Do you think Brett Wilkin will win the Olympia one day?
I absolutely believe so.
I
firmly believe so. I think it's going to be him and Hunter battling back and forth for Olympias for a couple of years. I really do, until I come up and beat both of them.
Yeah, definitely beautiful physique. So,
dude, I remember I said it at Chicago too. I said, what we're seeing right now is something we're going to start seeing a lot at the Olympias. These 2, 1 and 2, I really believe so.
How about classic physique for Friday?
Classic, I got Terrence still winning. I got Urson 2.
All right.
Urs, a lot of people sleep on that kid. I stood next to him backstage. I mean, the dude.
Fellow German.
He is. I mean, man, like he doesn't look like much when you see his pictures. I mean, he looks pretty. He got the pretty muscle bellies, all that. It looks peeled, but you don't realize how big he is till you stand next to him. The dude's got a lot of size. He's just really tall and he's lengthy. So like he doesn't look as big as he really is, but he's big. On top of that, I freaking love the kid. The dude is like the happiest, friendliest guy you'll ever meet in your life. He's awesome. I got Breon 3, Ramon 4, and I had Divine 5, but Michael Duval,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
peeled right now. He's peeled, and he won the UK Arnold last year with his shape, with guys who are prettier shape than him. He doesn't have the prettiest shape. That's where his downfall is. But the dude is peeled. He's got a waist this big. So I don't know. I hopefully he can stay healthy for the rest of the week too. I know he had some health issues, and I like Michael Duval as a guy too. He's a really good dude. I'd like to see him get up there. But so I have a hard tie. It's kind of hard between Divine and Michael Duval at 5.
Okay, well, great. We really thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I hope we introduced some people like from all over the world to you that might have not known you yet.
Yeah.
Maybe you gain some German fans now.
Right. Hi, German
And-
guys. Wait, what was the word you taught me?
Oh man. No, we shouldn't do that right here. But I mean, hopefully we're gonna see you around in Europe competing.
Yeah, hopefully.
We got a show in Germany, so they don't have to open yet. The Dennis James Classic. We got way more shows in Europe, so maybe one day we see you out there competing. And good luck for the future. That you accomplish your goals. And we really appreciate your time.
Thank you, man.
You want to say something to the guys all over the world in Germany?
Follow me. Get to know me. I'm a
What
good
is your
dude.
Instagram?
IFBB_Brady King. Follow my YouTube. It's just Brady King. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Show some support. Use my codes for all the gas and Jack Factory, all that good stuff. But most importantly, pay a little bit of attention and get to know me. I like to have fun. I like to make people laugh. So the least I can do is entertain you guys. So thank you for listening. I appreciate everybody.